director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AIM Impact on Your Health. AIM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AIM Impact on Your Health, heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AIM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today we're going to be visiting with a gentleman done it on the show many times before, always associated with unique products. In fact, by virtue of associating myself with him, we've become more or less a body bio boutique here. We've got one-of-a-kind products that really aren't available anyplace else. As I look at my inventory and what we carry and what is out there and available elsewhere, we're bringing you two products today that are extremely unique because, at least as it stands right now, you can't get them any other place. One we mentioned before, and a recent availability of RTD dressings allows us to talk about it today. If you are a diabetic in particular, and predisposed to developing wounds, or even if you aren't predisposed to developing wounds, you better dress that wound with something that's going to allow you to heal and get whatever potential for infection removed. That's going to be a RTD dressing. We'll talk about them today. We had a show we did on that particular subject in toto a while back, but today we launched a new product, once again a one-of-a-kind, and as it stands right now, if I understand correctly from Alan, nowhere available in the United States right now other than right here, called Simply Freeze. If you've got muscle aches, pains, joint aches and pains, you may want to try. I certainly want to listen to what our discussion is going to be today with Alan Ridgeway. Originally, we met Alan because of his proclivity to bringing you diabetic supplies. He's our fellow who fits folks up with the orthopedic shoes. They do that every year. The diabetics are entitled to get a pair of those every year. And so we've had him now in our offices and visiting with our patients for quite some time now. Each and every time I turn around, he brings a new product to me. They're always so unique, so boutique-ish, if you know what I mean, feeling a real niche. And I believe you'll be interested in hearing our discussion today. Now look, if in our discussions with Alan and the products he brings to us, you want to call in to ask a question or to make a comment, the number, as always, will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Alan Ridgeway, today, our special guest. Now, enjoyed our show on Monday, had some good comments and feedback from patients of mine. Lee Waller was our guest on Monday talking about sustainable weight loss, and I think the universal comment about Lee's presentation was that it was so common sense, nothing radical. I mean, when he has as a byline losing 1 or 2 pounds per week as the goal, he's not going to be dealing with anything controversial at all with respect to worrisome minds in the medical community about how dangerous losing weight could potentially be. No, I think Lee Waller brought good information to you about how to lose it and how to keep it off. And we'll bring him back, folks. I promise. We talked off air, and I'll bring him back in August, and we'll continue our discussion. This Friday, now I'm going back down to, did anybody ever hear of Millville, New Jersey? I never had. And I've been going to the Jersey Shore for a long time, along the shoreline, of course. Millville is smack dab in the middle of the state, and you would think, well, nobody would go there. Well, somebody obviously does. It's a booming metropolis, but the company Body Bio is located there. Edward Kane, who we've been on our show, actually is born and raised in that area. That's where he put his business. And we're going to be going down to another Patricia Kane conference this week, sort of finishing off what we started last month. I brought you back some pretty powerful messages. I promise I'll bring you back the dates that we're going to have both of those individuals on our show. I continue to get questions about this fish oil controversy, which I think we're going to have a real live controversy when I return. There needs to be a replacement for fish oils. Fish oils are hazardous to your health, and I'll prove it to you because the science has now been proven to indicate as such, and something needs to be placed in its place in order to make sure that you are able to replace your essential fatty acids in a safe way. And fish oils just won't do it. And although mercury is an implicated item as to how harmful fish oils can be, it's not the scientific matter that I'll bring to you. Yes, there's mercury in fish oil, and of course in the purified forms, extremely small amounts, but I'm not talking about mercury, I'm talking about length of carbon change. I'll be giving you more information on my return, and I'll bring Ed Kane and Patricia Kane to you in the up and coming days of the remaining in July and in August. We'll have a real good controversy going on here as we have done in the past. Other things coming up in the future. Well, I got Susan Smith-Jones. She's doing August, and I got a scheduled a guest. Don't really have her name or any information in front of me, but a female clinician, very skilled in the area of cleansing and probiotics. And with the new lab test that I told you about, also upon my return from the last conference in Millville, New Jersey, there is a 10th and a brand new lab test to be ordered. I'm trying to find out actually how to get it. My initial investigation via people who run labs is that they're having a tough time finding TMAO, which is the name of the new lab test, available in any of the labs. And so I intend to return this week with the actual place where I can get that ordered. TMAO is the new and 10th of the lab tests that we ordered for cardiovascular health. Anyway, more on that in the up and coming days. And that's pretty much how it shapes up right now. This Friday, going to do a repeat show now. On last Friday's show, we had David Brownstein here, and I got great feedback from all of you with respect to the interest that you had in hearing David Brownstein talking about salting your way to health. The name of his book, Salt Your Way to Health. We are going to have David come back and talk about part 2 of that book, and that won't be scheduled until way out into September. He's got some family matters, some vacationing to do with his own family in the month of August, so it won't be until September that he comes back. But we're going to repeat that show this Friday while I'm trying to find Millville. I think I can find it this time. Millville, New Jersey, to be a participant in the Patricia Kane conference that's going to be held there. And then I'll bring all that information back to you next week. So David Brownstein will be back here, sort of, not in the flesh, but in spirit at least, for the Friday show on salting your way to health. That pretty much rounds it out as it stands right now. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a short break? And in the interim, I'll go find Alan, and we've got a lot to talk about today. 2 boutique products, not obtainable any other place as best we can tell, certainly available here. RTD dressings, and a new product called Simply Freeze. Be back in a moment.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Have you been to the doctor lately? Was today top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asks you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What have you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Through the Spirit. The blessings of Through the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith, let Through the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Through the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Through the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on a Wednesday version of the show, and as anticipated, every so often we bring this gentleman back. He always has a new offering or two to bring to your attention. A lot of what he has brought to us in the past had a diabetic tinge to it. In fact, that's where his specialties initially were found. But this keeps expanding to involve newer products, more interesting products, and we're going to be talking about and revealing and unveiling a couple of those today. Of course, I'm talking about Alan Ridgeway. You've known him in the past from Diabetic Solutions. He has brought you orthopedic shoes and all the diabetic supplies in a very convenient way for you to get them. If you are a diabetic and listening to me today, you want to get a hold of my office so we can put you in touch with Alan and help him, allow him to help you in whatever you may need. Alan, are you with us today, my friend? Are you there?
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hey, Alan, so nice for you to come aboard. I've been looking forward to it. Of course, every time you and I meet, you usually have a new product in mind, and each and every time in the past month, the conversations have turned very interesting, really requiring us to bring you on the show to talk about them. We're going to get to them today. But let's talk about Alan Ridgeway, and really, you have a stable and rather important role to play in the diabetic world. Talking about the kind of diabetic products that you bring to the table, why don't you just rattle off a thing or two about your company and servicing the diabetic population of the Western Pennsylvania area, what it is that you do, how you do it, and how people who might be diabetic might be able to get a hold of you to get their products to them. A lot of times they're going to be needing them on a monthly basis in a timely fashion. What are those things that you can do for them?
That's correct. Our diabetic company, we offer the diabetic shoes, and I'm a distributor of Dr. Comfort, by the leading diabetic shoe in the world, based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the other products that I have are diabetic supplies. I promote one of the meters is called Solo. Very accurate, easy to use. The numbers are a lot bigger than a regular machine. And then I usually drop ship those supplies 90 days. Every 90 days they would get a shipment right to their door. I accept most insurances, and even the shoes. I accept most insurances, and I usually waive the copay too. So that'll save $100 to $200 a year for copays for most individuals.
So safe to say you work with those patients to make certain that if their insurances, and the majority of the insurances do cover all these services that you can offer, if I got this correct. I know the patients of mine that work with you are quite happy about the kind of service you provide them, and I just can't back you enough and recommend you enough for those of you who might be listening to me right now who haven't availed yourself of the services that Alan brings to you, because I've never really heard anybody cast a disparaging remark in your way, Alan. You must do a great job with a lot of courtesy and a lot of service, because I just hear nothing but good things about you, and I think it's a great testimonial to pass on to our listeners who maybe know of you but haven't availed themselves of your services now. So enough on the shoes, because we got new things to talk about. Hey, Alan, what is it with you? Every time I turn around, you come up with a new thing. Are you always out there looking at people finding you and realize, well, this Alan Ridgeway guy, I forget a product to launch, we might as well launch it with him? Or do you go out and try to find these products because you have some real niche items? You can get them nowhere else, and they have a very important role to play in health and hygiene and the like. Where is your direction and motivation coming from?
I think that, I like to find new products interesting, but I think through my travels, just running into people and talking to people, and they've got this product and they need, help, marketing, distributing it. So it's basically both, looking and just talking to everybody. You never know who's out there.
Well, and talking to whoever you talk to, you've come across a couple of unique things. I wanted to spend a moment on the RTD dressings. We finally, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, have our supply of RTD dressings here in the office. It makes for quite a unique ability on the part of the general public. If what I hear is correct, Alan, this kind of a dressing is not available any other place that you and I both know of anywhere in, well, for sure, Western Pennsylvania, and for that matter, the country. I don't see where people are able to buy these kind of dressings. Hospitals get them, but the public can't. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you're right. It's still prescription dressing right now, and even a lot of hospitals don't even have it on their formulary yet. It's so new out, but it's one of the top dressings in the world, and I'm sure the creator, I think we had him on here a few months ago, I'm sure he's going to win a Nobel Prize. There's a study going on at AGH, the guy that created the name biofilm, Dr. Thompson. I think this study will be done by the end of July. Once that study is done, this product is going to go so fast globally that I think this doctor is going to win the Nobel Prize for healthcare that created the product.
Well, it was sort of an alignment of really an offering that found the need, because here you are dealing with the diabetic world, okay? And if there's one touchy, tricky little area that diabetics have to come up against, it's the wounds that they develop, especially in the extremities and especially in the legs and feet. They get a wound in these areas. It could be, well, very severe. It could wind up actually leading to an amputation and serious health consequence and near-death experience. I can't overemphasize it enough. The diabetic having a simple wound that anybody else would have, just put a Band-Aid on and be fine. The diabetic can't put a Band-Aid on anything and be fine. And to have a set of dressings that work for them. Talk a bit about how this dressing works, Alan, why it is as unique as it is, and why the diabetics who are listening to me, and you don't need to be a diabetic to want to have these. I have these in my own home, and I put them on my children who get their little cuts and scrapes. I think it's a great way to do dressing. But what is it so unique about this dressing that especially the diabetic needs to have this one in their medicine cabinet?
Yes, this product, the way it works, covers the wound, and it maintains a moist wound environment. And what's special about this product, it actually penetrates the biofilm that is over the wound. There's, you can't see this biofilm over a wound, it's microscopic, but this product this ingredient will actually penetrate the wound and suck, kind of like a wound vac, all the bad stuff out, the bacteria and such. Then when it does that, it prevents, it actually puts a layer of skin over the wound. That's how it pretty much works and heals the wound. I mean, we saved 4 months. A guy was supposed to have a leg amputation. He had this diabetic 20 years, and it took 4 months to have, and it healed his leg and did not have to get it amputated. But so the chemicals behind it and the way it works is so unique, and there's no other product in the world like it.
Yeah, I think that my appreciation for how this works, and to add on a bit of your explanation, normally dressings act as a barrier, and they usually prevent germs from the outside to get into the wound. Okay, that's the way. You put a piece of gauze over top of a wound, you tape it in place. There's nothing really therapeutic going on other than a barrier to help keep the wound clean. All right. Well, this is something completely different, because this literally a pad. It's a 1/4 inch thick. Actually, they have 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch. Am I right about that?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so they have this 1/4 inch thick, because those are the ones that we have here for sale. 1/4 inch thick that you can. It's a 4x4 pad. So depending on the size of the wound, you could have that thing be cut up to allow you to cover a wound many times over with just one pad, because you don't need to place the entire 4 inch by 4 inch pad over the wound. Nonetheless, this 1/4 inch piece of material is placed over top of the wound. It's made of a polyurethane foam material that literally, you use the word, sucks out the wound. I guess that's a fair way of describing it, because this isn't acting as a barrier. This is literally pulling materials from the wound out into the dressing itself. The dressing actually sort of increases in size as it sucks more and more out. Am I right about that?
Yeah, it'll hold 20 times its weight. If you would even just do a study, put that dressing in a cup of water, a bowl of water, it'll actually, suck all that water into the sponge. And the sponge, while it's over the wound, it also prevents infection. It kills MRSA and all the different things. So it works 2 things in one.
Yeah, so it's sucking out the debris and the microbes themselves, and then this thing is impregnated. This piece of foam material is impregnated with 3 substances, all of which have an antimicrobial effect. One's methylene blue. We've known about that one for years. Another, and I haven't seen it in so long, gentian violet. I remember this for people who had thrush and things like this in the past, and it was used in the mouth. But it's pretty scary to see somebody with gentian violet on them, because it's very dark colored, and quite obviously somebody's got something they shouldn't have. Then the third substance that these are impregnated with is I'm reading it now, I would say just the word silver, but this is a silver sodium zirconium phosphate. I'm not familiar with that compound, but evidently the inventor, who we did have on the show, feels that this compound is the best way to administer silver to the antimicrobial realm of this dressing. And so the combination of those 3 substances impregnated into the dressing itself, this 1/4 inch thick pad, and I didn't realize it will actually suck up. Did you say 10 times its weight or 20 times its weight?
Yeah, 20 times its weight. Yep.
So literally, if you put one of these 4x4s in a cup of water, it would suck up all the water in the entire cup, just about. Looks like to me.
That's correct. And also, don't want people to be afraid when it's over the wound. None of those ingredients will go into the wound. It's the way it's ionically bonded. There's no way for those products to get into the wound, so it's very safe to use.
So literally waiting for the organisms on the other side, once they get sucked out from the wound itself and are impregnated into the dressing, then those 3 substances take over to render the organisms literally, well, they kill the organisms. They are antimicrobials. When you put the dressing on, I understand. So you cut it to the size. You place it over top of the wound, and you strap it in place, whether that's with an ace bandage or whether it's taped. It really doesn't matter. Then I'm told that dressing stays in place for 3 days. Am I right about that?
Yeah, that's correct. 3 days, depending on how much exudate is coming out of the wound. The FDA requires every 3 days to change the bandage or the wound dressing.
And I have seen the before and after pictures that you've and the gentleman who's the gentleman that you keep bringing to the office with you? He was on our show too. What was it?
Kurt.
Kirk, that's right, Kurt, and he has quite a library of photographs of what we'll call before and after horror shows. The before was the horror show, wounds that obviously were to the point where serious health issues were in play, maybe life or death as a matter of fact. But then applying these dressings, those wounds actually healed to the point of complete closure. I never could really tell over what time period, but the fact that it could close at all was the key, because those wounds had already been in place for many, many months already without closing, and it was believed to be that they would never close, and the poor person would have to have this gaping wound and have to contend with the dressing ad infinitum into the future. Yet, with this dressing, wound closure, wound healing, and wound closure actually did occur. I can't speak so highly, I can't overspeak of how highly I recommend this, especially for the diabetic, and actually for anybody. They should have this kind of a dressing in their medicine cabinet, and we have them now, and as you say, it is a prescription item, but there still is no distribution of these in any offices that you and I know of, except this office here. Am I right about that?
That's correct.
So, for once and again, by virtue of my relationship with Alan, ladies and gentlemen, we have a designer boutique product here that has no equivalent, has no equal, yet you as a private citizen can't really get your hands on them unless you get them here, where you certainly can get your hands on them. I'll tell you what, that's 4x4 square of this polyurethane foam, $25 for that 4x4 square. But because of the ability that you can cut to order in terms of how you use it, that could last for a year, depending on what kind of cuts and bruises you get around your own home. So I think it's a $25 investment, well worthwhile for anybody, but for the diabetic, they should automatically have that in their closet where they don't have to wait to get some positive and healing effect on any wounds that they may develop. They need to have that right there, right now, so they can use it. And the fact that they can have it in their cabinets because it's available to them, even though this may be the only place that you and I both know of, for a while at least, and maybe it'll catch on and be in other places. I'm happy to be able to be associated with you, Alan, so that we can bring this to the public and allow them to have this at home. Now, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a short break, Alan? When we come back, we really need a crescendo moment for the launching of a brand new product today. A product that you brought to me a few weeks ago. This product's called Simply Freeze. Simply Freeze. Be back in a moment with Alan Ridgeway.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praise cravings of fruit of the spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. If you become confused about how best to manage your health, it's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instructions, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. This is a Wednesday morning version of the show. With us today, a gentleman you certainly do know of, have heard from him in the past, bringing to us very unique products. Just got done talking about this extremely unique, by the way, stocked in many of the hospitals' operating rooms throughout the entire Western Pennsylvania area. The doctors who create wounds by using a scalpel absolutely have learned the benefits of this dressing. Now to think that you can actually get a hold of this on your own, I think is a wonderful offering. We're happy to be able to bring it to you. We're now talking about, Alan, another thing you've come along. How'd you come by this product that it's entitled Simply Freeze? Give me a little bit of background on this one now, because it is one of a kind.
It's just basically a 3-ounce roll-on pain reliever, very easy to use. I've known about this probably about 5 months now and trying it out with some people. And one being a healthcare rep, a home health nurse that had back surgery 2 years ago and still has a little backache and pain. But after driving all day, she's been using this product now for 5 months. It's awesome. It's greaseless, doesn't stain the clothes, and the scent vanishes away after a period of time. So there's really no scent, but it's a really awesome product.
So it's a product that you literally roll on, like old roll-on deodorants, and you place this over. Well, tell me, what are the indications and the directions for the use of this product called Simply Freeze? Who should consider using this product?
Anybody from arthritis, sore muscles, joints, backache. This is just a temporary pain reliever that rolls on. Works really great. Really surprised how good it works. Everyone that I've talked to is like, wow, that's an awesome product.
I guess we should say that there is a product out there that the public is aware of, and they evidently use in high frequency. That product's called BioFreeze, and I think we're looking at a sister product here, right? I mean, it appears as though this is, in terms of the use of it, probably they're identical in why you would use them. I would say that from the literature that I can read on both, that this product called Simply Freeze, although it is equally as effective as the BioFreeze, this issue about the substance itself, this greaseless, describe this greaseless component, because I find that that's where the complaints lie with the BioFreeze, the fact that it's sticky or it leaves a residue, or what is it that the BioFreeze leaves?
Yeah, from the physical therapists that are using the BioFreeze, and I took Simply Freeze to their office. They just put it right on their forearm. I was like, wow, this is not greasy at all. It's, compared to the BioFreeze, it's greasy as it goes on. So it's real easy to use, too. You don't have to rub it in. it has the product called Ilex in it, which keeps it from being greasy. So that's probably the main difference of it. Really easy to use. This one you can actually, get it through you or me, where most of the biofreeze you have to go either to a physical therapist or a chiropractor to buy. But this one we're going to market, to the general public, so they don't have to go to a chiropractor or physical therapist to buy.
So we may, at some point in the future, see this in a local pharmacy? Could be?
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
I think my thoughts are maybe, right now, is maybe 6 sporting goods. Since they're nationwide, they have 600 stores. And it's, a lot of athletes that use it with the sore muscles after weightlifting, bicycling. So pretty much anybody from age 2 and up can use the Simply Freeze.
Now this, although it might be your ultimate intention to put this in Dick's Sporting Goods, as it stands right now, because I know you drove here from Robinson Township under quite a bit of duress yesterday because you just got the first shipment in yourself, right? I mean,
right. It just comes from it came by air yesterday, and if I'm looking at the bottom of the bottle right now, it's manufactured July 8th. So last week is when all these bottles were manufactured. So
this is fresh off the press, and I think we got the first case. We even got a case over before you did, right? We got the first case.
That's correct. You have the first case.
So for our listeners, the product is here. It's called Simply Freeze, and it's for those muscle aches and pains that you get occasionally. And according to, Kim, who's my office manager, had a recent knee surgery a few months ago. But that knee of hers still gives her problems. It still is responding to the recuperation phase of her surgery. And she was very familiar with BioFreeze herself, wasn't she?
That's correct.
And so she immediately grabbed this product. She applied it, and she started. It was like a commercial. We should have had a microphone and recorded it because the things that she was saying about that were all good, and she had a way to compare it with this other product called BioFreeze, and she felt it was a superior product from the get-go. So that was a testimonial that was unsolicited, happening immediately upon your arrival to my office, and it still is held true. She continues to speak very positive about this product called Simply Freeze. It's in a 3-ounce container, and I think the way we worked out the pricing on this 3-ounce container costs $15. Well, I'm not mistaken, $15.99 or something like that, right around $15.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. $14.99.
$14.99. Do you need a prescription for this at all? My guess is no, right?
No, it's over the counter.
It is over the counter, except the only counter that you can get it over now is our counter here because it's really at no other place other than here at the moment. However, maybe in the future, going to be going nationwide, but it all starts here. How does this stuff work? How does this Simply Freeze work?
Well, basically, you just roll it right on where the pain's coming from. And within a minute, that pain kind of goes away. You're familiar with the gate control theory. I maybe explain that, how it works with the nerves and everything. But that cold sensation kind of goes to the nerves and takes the pain away.
Yeah, it's that famous gate control theory of explaining pain from Melzack and Walls, who really discovered how pain moves from the periphery to the brain, and then how to interrupt that. I've seen the explanations of how this material is supposed to interrupt that flow, and so there's a physiological mechanism behind this. This isn't just you put it on, it's so cold that makes you think that you're not having pain, which I think somebody could try to explain this in doing, but that's not how it works at all. It actually does interfere with how the pain impulses travel from the periphery to the brain, interrupting that travel so the pain message never really gets to the brain. So there is a physiological and biochemical explanation for how this stuff should work, okay? How long does Simply Freeze work? Would you applied it, how much time could you expect in way of relief could you get from a single application?
It should last up to 4 to 6 hours. To apply it 3 to 4 times a day.
And so there's no problem with getting toxicity from this at all.
Correct.
So you could apply it as many times as you need to, but you can get as much as 4 to 6 hours of relief from one application, right?
That's correct.
What is well? How about? Did anybody do scientific studies on this product? I'm guessing that in order to be able to be FDA approved, it's going to have done some scientific studies in order to get its FDA approval. Are you familiar with any studies that have been done on this?
There has been studies done. I'd have to go back through to look at all the studies. But there was studies done with no complications. As long as you use it for the aches and pains, joints, and the not recommended uses like sunburn or wounds. You don't want to put on any wound or sunburn. Mainly for the joints, muscles, the back, arthritic pain, and such.
Yeah, I guess you make a good point. This is not to be used for any open wound or open lesion on the surface of the skin, because it's not intended to penetrate to move into tissues. It's meant to be working at the level of the skin, at that barrier level. So you wouldn't use it for sunburn where that's a lesion of the skin. You wouldn't use it for any rashes that you may have or anything like that. This is strictly used for deep muscle aches and pains only where the skin surface is undisturbed. You don't have any visual indication that there's some cutaneous component to the person's sensation of discomfort in an area. If there is, then none of these products, Simply Freeze or BioFreeze or any other, would be indicated. I can tell you that from a medical point of view. Here's a question. Because recently, when I went up to Phoenix, I got through that line, and the boys stopped, the TSA people, those wonderful people, stopped me, and they said, we need to look into your shaving kit. And what they did was they said, oh, this shaving cream that you got here and this toothpaste tube, much too large to be allowed to be taken. And they said, they sort of said, we can send it to you, And so rather than, because I was visibly irritated with that stupidity, nonetheless, I told them to pitch it. Well, I told them some other things, but we won't get into that. How about this product? Is it easily passed through the electronic devices and the wonderful, beautiful TSA people that are there to protect us? Found out this morning, by the way, 25,000. I'm just throwing this out, Alan. Okay, I got a vent to get a little of this off my chest. Those people had a breach of their ability to detect 25,000 times last year. 25,000. But they caught my shaving cream and my toothpaste. How about that? 25,000. Those wonderful folks. Anyway, is this stuff going to get, are we going to get onto the airplane with this stuff, or are they going to confiscate it?
Yeah, this 3-ounce bottle does meet FAA requirements. So if you have it in your purse or your carry-on, this will go through security. No problem.
So the idea that it's not, is it really the size of the product that's the problem? Is that it? So the fact that it's in a 3-ounce, you're allowed 3 ounces. Are you allowed 3? Evidently, I didn't know this, and I'm still a little worked up over it. I'm going to get over it, folks. I really am going to get over it. Okay. Moving down the line here. How this product, how you say you're looking at a bottle, and on the bottom it was made on July 8th. Okay, and I'm looking, and by the way, yeah, July 8th. It's on the bottom of my bottle too. What's the expiration on one of these things?
Expiration is 2 years from the date it was manufactured. So, give it some time, and but I'm sure once you buy this, individuals are going to use it. They'll see how great it is.
It won't be hanging around for 2 years, but at least it has a 2-year expiration date. What's this? You mentioned it. What's this stuff called Ilex? Evidently, that's a trade name, a patented item, Ilex. What is Ilex, and why is it in this product?
Ilex is it's one of the inactive ingredients in Simply Freeze, and it's used to achieve the non-greasy texture. So it's not one of the active ingredients for the product, but it's inactive that gives us the non-greasy when it's rolled on.
Okay, so that's a texturing problem, and it is allowing for the product not to be this sticky, greasy stuff that evidently this was the complaint about that BioFreeze product that we were talking about. What about? Let's see, I'm looking around here. Can this be? This doesn't interfere with taking any other medications that you know about.
Right.
So if you take any medicine, this won't conflict with anything that you may be taking whatsoever. It's a topical product. It won't have any contraindications with respect to that.
That's right.
Okay, and what about, is there any, because I know that topically applied pain relievers used to contain, or maybe still do contain, capsaicin. Capsaicin comes from literally chili peppers, okay, and found in the skin of chili peppers, and it can be quite irritating to the skin. I don't see anywhere where this has a capsaicin component to it. Am I right?
Right. Yeah, there's no capsaicin. Right. Correct.
Okay, those are all my questions pretty much answered. So the product now available here in our office is at a price of $15 for this 3-ounce supply. We got our case of that yesterday, so we're loaded for bear there. With respect to the RTD dressings, we've got a case of those. You can easily call up. We can send them out, folks, because as I say, both of these are so designer and boutique-ish right now. They're just not found any other place. And we can send them out to you and make the ability to get these in your hands easier, depending on how far away you are from the office. Sometimes it's really just not feasible for you to drive on down here to my offices in the South Hills. You may live extremely far away. So that's a way to get it. That's the number in our office, which you can call right after 9 o'clock, 724-942-3002, and talk to Kim, and she can have that sent out to you literally today. Alan, what do you got on the drawing board? We got a few minutes left here. What's up and coming with the boutique line of Alan Ridgeway and his products, some of which now are diabetically oriented, others are not? What's on the next on your drawing board you're coming across?
Right now, I was talking to a creator of a product out of Louisville, PhD doctor. I have not seen it in the Pittsburgh area yet. It's called Rash Relief.
It's called what?
Rash Relief.
Rash Relief.
Yeah, there's 5 different 2-ounce bottles for different types of rashes and such. Also, you can put on minor wounds and scrapes and spray, but it's pretty new. This doctor once created here about a year and a half ago, years ago. And I've been talking to him for the past month, see how I could distribute that product here in the Pittsburgh area. But it is so new out that such a wonderful product itself. So I'm looking at maybe bringing that as a product line too, and that would be something you would be able to sell directly.
Rash Relief. That's certainly, I thought I'd ask the question, and you do have a drawing board, and you've got other products you've got in mind to bring to us. By the way, how long do you think it is before we might see rash relief?
Thinking probably by September 1.
Oh, that is close. You are in intense negotiation right now with the gentleman, are you not?
Right.
Oh, really good. Okay, that's great. Any other products that you want to talk about that may be up and coming, Alan?
Yeah, there's another product, like a substitute for like the fish oil product. They substitute fish oils.
Oh, hey, you're now on a real mission when it comes to me. I've just announced recently where fish oils actually can be harmful. We got to talk about this one because it could very well be that there's some alignment here between what is healthy and what you may be able to market. So we'll talk about that off air, and let's see how I can help you with that, help design that to make that come in to meet the health needs of individuals, because this thing with fish oils is going to, I guess, hit the proverbial fan here in this month of July. It really needs to be exposed now, and it needs to be shunned, and I'll help bring that information to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I think we do have a caller out there, Alan. Why don't we bring him aboard? Good morning. You're with Mr. Alan Ridgeway. Go right ahead. Anything on your mind?
Good morning, Dr. Courtney and Alan. Two quick questions on the bandages. I'm assuming they're sealed in the package.
Yep.
When you open the package, how long is the bandage viable for? And secondly, how long, if you cut it into smaller pieces, how long can you leave it on the skin itself?
Well, once you open the package, cut the dressing to the wound size. That dressing on the wound up to 3 days. The FDA allows 3 days. Now, take the other part of the dressing that was cut, and if you have a Ziploc bag, put that dressing in a Ziploc bag, and it'll stay. It'll hold all of microbes, ionic bonding, and everything. And you'll notice that Ziploc bag will be the cleanest Ziploc bag inside, because it'll suck whatever bacteria is in that Ziploc bag right into the sponge, but still safe to use for the next, after 3 days, cut up another piece and use right on the wound.
So how long would that bandage be viable for after, the piece put in a Ziploc bag?
They don't have an expiration date. It'll stay viable for, I'd say, at least a year, 2 years. It's not going to really expire.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, great question, and it's something I can imagine. It's got to be in a Ziploc bag, because you can't have it open air. If you were to have it open air, this thing is just going to keep sucking moisture, literally from the atmosphere. You have to have a barrier to protect it from itself, I'm guessing, because it would tend to, I never heard that thing, about 20 times its weight. That's considerable, and there'd be no need to want to have it exposed to air. And as long as you did that, it would maintain its integrity for quite some time, I'm going to guess. Even though, do you know when you purchase one of these? I haven't seen it. Is there an expiration date on the actual dressing itself, or is it like gauze? There is no expiration date on gauze.
Yeah, I like gauze. Right. Yeah, I didn't see an expiration date on the packaging.
All right. Very good. Got another question. Come on aboard. You're with Mr. Alan Ridgeway. Go right ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question regarding what is the name of that Band-Aid-like thing?
RTD dressing. RTD. Alan, do you remember what the R?
Like red?
Yeah, R as in red. RTD. What does the RTD stand for? Do you remember? RTD.
Jack and Tom.
Yeah, Red Tom Zelda. RTD. No, RTD. Dog. RTD.
Okay.
The brand name is called Retro Tech Dressing.
Ah, Retro what?
Tech.
Retro Tech.
Yep.
And also, can it absorb toxins from the body not included in an open wound? I was thinking, like, if you have a liver problem, could you put it over your liver, and would it absorb some of the toxins that come near the surface?
Yeah.
Skin there.
To the extent that I can appreciate how it, even intact skin, might allow for this product to literally, I'll use the word that you use, Alan, suck up into the matrix of this dressing. I can easily see it. But if the skin is actually broached, if the skin and the integrity of the skin is lost, all the more ability to do that little vacuuming effect, that sucking effect. So I don't really think I've never seen any literature on testing on intact skin, and so I would imagine that probably much diminished in its ability to do that. Yet it could potentially actually do that to some extent, I think is a fair way to putting it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. RTD. What's the RT and the D stand for again?
Retro Tech Dressing.
Retro Tech Dressing. Yes, we did have the inventor on the show when we first launched this product a while ago. He's back. Is he out in Utah or something like that?
That's correct. He's out of Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Utah. That's what it was. And it was a very nice gentleman, and really we did enjoy speaking with him. Well, folks, we're coming to the bongo moments of our show. We've now launched, once again, the RTD dressings because they are here. They're in the office. Call up. If you want to have one of these in your medicine cabinet, you absolutely want to have it. And the new product called Simply Freeze for those muscle aches and pains. Alan will be waiting for the rash stuff that you're looking at, as well as any other product in the near future. Thanks for coming aboard today. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say goodbye for myself and Mr. Alan Ridgeway. Don't forget on Friday, repeat David Brownstein's show on Salt, Your Way to Health. I'll be back with you on Monday with the full Millville report, if you know what I mean. See you then.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002. Or Dennis J. Courtney,